Let's talk about that. So I have defended Bo Nix. Let's do a little blind resume with Bo Nix, and let's use contemporaries, people, peers, or people in his generation. That's fair, because I've said Bo Nix does three things really well. He doesn't get sacked. A lot of it's because he's really athletic. He's very good 15 yards and under. Like, he's very accurate, and ball placement's great, and he's coachable and tough with a lot of college stars. He does not throw a great deep ball. But when I saw the Aikman-Caleb comps, it was such an eye roll. And if you want to do comps that matter, let's do this. Let's do blind resume. Let's look at Bo Nix in the current NFL, his first 23 starts. Okay, guys want to do the blind resume? So basically the same resume through 23 starts of the guy on the right. Who's the guy on the right? First 23 starts. The guy on the right who everybody fell in love with, Dak Prescott. And Dak had Zeke and the number one offensive line in the league. Okay, so there you go. Okay, let's do it again. Well, I mean, maybe Colin, Dak's not that talented. Okay, let's do a blind resume where here Bo Nix is much more accurate, fewer turnovers, much higher passer rating through 23 starts. Let's see who this is. Oh, Josh Allen.
I knew it.
Josh Allen. Okay, well, Colin, that was years ago. Let's go with a more, contemporary 23 starts. Well, here he lines up almost the exact same quarterback against somebody we don't push back on. He's absolutely big, strong, capable, accurate guy. Who's this blind resume? Oh, C.J. Stroud. Again, I'm not doing Caleb and Aikman. Why not do Y.A. Tittle and, and C.J. Stroud? That's just nonsense. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I'll go back a few years. It's the same league, but it's probably more of a passing league now than it was then, but it's kind of close, fairly similar. Bo Nix, this quarterback, boy, this guy struggled with accuracy. Whew, his passer rating was terrible. Who is that stiff? Andrew Luck. Okay, these comps are reasonable because the NFL rules during all those quarterbacks, including Luck and Bo Nix, the rules are the same. They have limited what defenses can do. So, and I'll say this about Bo Nix. You have identified, if you watch, Bronco fans know this. He doesn't get sacked. He's very athletic. In fact, I would argue run more. First 2 years you're in the league as a quarterback. Run if you can until the light comes on, until the game slows down. He's coachable. He's gotten better last September to October, November. He gets better as the season goes on. Doesn't take sacks, super athletic, and he's very good 15 yards and in. Now, he does not throw a great deep ball. Okay, sorry, he's not Mahomes. He's not. But Tony Gonzalez used to say, ego has no amigo. He doesn't have any of that. The other thing is, can Bo Nix can we look at Bo Nix and go, he's a top 12, 13 quarterback? Because until this very season, that's how we looked at Baker Mayfield. And that's how we looked at Dak Prescott his entire career, and he's probably better than that. So all the fandom for Dak and Baker, Baker before this year, you could argue, is he a top 12 quarterback? By the way, y'all love Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had trouble winning games without Christian McCaffrey. Bo Nix doesn't always have a healthy roster either. So I think Bo Nix has incredibly high expectations. Dad was a coach. I think he's fine. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he's as gifted as Jaden Daniels. Right now, I don't know if he's Drake May, but he's a franchise quarterback. Here's Bo.
I'm definitely tough on myself. I think it's just, how I grew up, how I was, raised. My dad was my coach, so he was tough on me, and then, just kind of continued. It's tough. I hate making mistakes. I hate, not doing the correct thing, and can be tough on myself. But at the same time, I give myself some grace too, and just move on and go to the next play. And sure, I'm going to make another mistake, and I'll fix that when it happens.
Now,
yeah, Bo Nix is such a grown up man. He's going to succeed not only because of his skill set, but because of his maturity. That impresses me more than anything else. A segment like this is really funny because it stemmed from people, Troy Aikman saying, I'm not, he said Caleb wasn't that good throughout the game, and it was true. And fans freaked out, and, Colin said, I saw comments about, them comparing him, Caleb's first, 20 starts or whatever to Troy Aikman's first 20 starts or, whatever the official number was. And my comment section had the same comparisons where people said that. And I was like, what are you... It's completely different football. What are we even saying right now? There are Hall of Fame, like John Elway, like pick real bona fide Hall of Famers, and Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, like any of these other quarterbacks will have higher passer ratings, higher completion percentage, more touch. They'll have a better touchdown interception ratio. It's just completely different. It's just, you can't even compare the two, so it's absurd. And so that's why Colin's like, okay, let's compare him to Josh Allen. Let's compare him to CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, etc., etc., etc. And I think that's valid. I think those are all valid approaches, valid comps. I don't care as much about that. Everyone is in completely different situations. I care a lot less about saying, look what this quarterback did in his first 20 starts and look what this quarterback did in their first 20 starts. That means nothing to me. It really inherently means absolutely nothing to me. But I will say this, and this is what's interesting, because Colin is right, and I talked about this. I've talked about this since last year. Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, a collection of these other quarterbacks have such intense fans that will defend those quarterbacks till they're blue in the face. They go so hard. They have such intense, over-the-top fans. And I'm leaving out the Lamar, Josh, and Mahomes, all of that. And Bo Nix does not have that. And he hasn't had it from the jump. From the jump. My first ever Bo Nix video I ever made, where I'm like, I think Bo Nix is going to be great. I think he's going to have a lot of success. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with Denver, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was like the most lukewarm take you could ever have. I'm excited, Denver, this, that, it was like, I didn't make any grand claims. I was like, Bo Nix is going to take over the NFL. He's going to win a Super Bowl and be the MVP in his rookie season. I wasn't doing what Nick was doing about Caleb, right? I'm just like, this is really exciting, it's great. And people just went off. They went nuts. What did he do in Auburn? What about when he was a sophomore in high school? Did you see what he did when he was 16 years old? And was like, no, I can't say I did. I wasn't really watching his film when he was a junior in high school. It just doesn't really matter. What about when he was 19? And I'm like, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care what you did as a quarterback when you were 19, when you were 20, when you were 21, when you were 22. Like, none of that actually really matters to me, okay? Well, none of that matters to me. It really, really doesn't. So, it was just that Bo Nix from the jump, got such hate and such doubt. And it doesn't make any sense. He's not combative. He's not aggressive. He's not difficult to work with. He is such a grown-up. I've been a massive, and I have to keep saying this, a massive defender of Caleb. All the other stuff with I don't even want to bring it up because people just take it to weird places. But any of the stuff that people criticize Caleb for, both on the field and off, defended him every step of the way. Every step of the way. Even against, again, the more personal stuff, I'm like, kind of like, get over it. I didn't even want to talk about it because it's just like, who cares? Get over it. Grow up. Whatever. So I've defended him every step of the way. But I hear him talk more. I hear him in a press conference, and I do. A little bit of me kind of cringes a little bit, and when he was kind of talking back and forth about, like, the opinions of other people and how he doesn't care about it. Like, just the way how he approaches that kind of makes me be like, I could see how you're the type of person where if I was hanging out with you, if I was in the locker room with you, like, you wouldn't be my favorite person. I mean, like, I can get along with you. I can get along with anyone. I got the gift of gab and can, connect with literally anyone. But, like, I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't be at the top of my list of people who I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hang out with. Bo Nix, in something simple of this little soundbite that Colin showed us, I'm just like, that is just such a grown-up. And he the way how he touches everything, I'm really hard on myself. He compares it back to his dad. He then says, I also have to give myself grace. Like, he's able to look at things from a 360 degrees. And that is so important. And that is a skill that you learn and grow as you get older and navigate this world. When you're younger, you look at things through such black and white binary thinking. It's so all or nothing. And as you grow and mature, you realize, you know what? I got to look at things from everything. I got to understand why I am who I am, where I'm trying to go, the appropriate way to look at things. And it goes such a long way. He's like, I hate making mistakes. I don't want to make mistakes, but like, it's going to happen. I'm hard on myself, and he's just able to kind of dissect and break down everything. Like, I know I got to give myself some grace at times. All of that stuff matters, man. All of that stuff matters. And I just think like that's what will make him so successful. That's what will cause him to continue to grow, evolve, and be better and better and better. And so the hate on Bo Nix, it really is crazy. It's like I still haven't really been able to explain it. And, when I've made similar videos in the past where I bring up the hate that Bo Nix has, any of the comments that people say that they think what it is, it just doesn't make sense to me. I could understand the Broncos franchise as a whole, especially because of, like I kind of compared saying that the Kansas City Chiefs have been just everyone's, obsession. And so a team like the Broncos, since you're going to have an army of KC fans try to pull down the Broncos and therefore Bo Nix, like I think that's kind of the closest we get to it. But then when I see other fans that I talk to all the time in the comment section who I know are not KC fans and probably want KC, it would be great for them if the Broncos were better than KC and whatnot. And I could still see the doubt and the negativity towards Bo Nix. And I'm just like, I don't know where it comes from. I really don't. And like I said, any of the other reasons that people bring up, any of the personal reasons or side reasons, it's like I said, they're not even worth mentioning because I just disagree with them. So it is interesting. It's fascinating to me how certain quarterbacks get such an army of fans while other quarterbacks do not. Kirk Cousins doesn't have it. Dak Prescott does. They pretty much almost had, until Kirk Cousins obviously got injured, they had like identical stats. Like Colin used to always talk about that. It'd be like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott is just Kirk Cousins with a Nike deal. He's just like cooler, and it's just like it's fascinating to me. It really, really is. Brock Purdy, army of fans, an absolute army of fans. Bo Nix, not so much. I find it interesting. I really, really do. So it's funny that he compared Bo Nix to Josh Allen and did that comp, because that's what I'd been saying before, that this is like the Josh Allen light and that there's still so much more room to grow. And, Colin keeps saying he doesn't get sacked. And again, it's funny because I talked about that again all last season. His pressure to sack percentage is just non-existent, which is a good thing. The lower, the better. And you're just like, this is pretty extraordinary that he's able to do that as a rookie. And that is just something that quarterbacks, when they're veterans, struggle with, especially rookies, and it's not just athleticism. Jaden Daniels is hyper athletic. So is Caleb Williams. They both had high pressure to sack percentages. So when Colin says, he's avoiding these sacks mainly because he's athletic. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. It's a combination of that, but he doesn't try to do too much. So he uses his athleticism smartly, where someone like a Lamar or a Caleb or a Jaden can kind of get their hands caught in the cookie jar at times, which is understandable. It happens. It's going to happen to all the great athletes. But it would seem to me that Bo Nix really understands his strengths and limitations, and he's comfortable getting rid of the ball as well. So it's a combination with that. And Sean Payton is to credit to that as well, because like I always talk about, avoiding sacks and dealing with the pressure. It's definitely a 1-2 punch with the coordinator as well as the quarterback. It's the mobility, the decision making, but it's also the coach giving you solutions to the problem, which was, I guess, again, a sentence that I mention a lot when dealing with pressure. But I think he continues to impress me, and anytime the Broncos don't light it up or that he looks perfect, people are just very quick to be like, Bo Nix is a problem, Bo Nix is a problem, Bo Nix is a problem. And I'm just like, it's fascinating to me. It really is. It's genuinely fascinating to me that we see all other quarterbacks consistently get the benefit of the doubt no matter what happens to them, and Bo Nix really essentially gets none of it. I see more benefit of the doubt around J.J. McCarthy. Perfect example, J.J. McCarthy. Right, because again, some of these other quarterbacks have now played long enough, like the Daks and the Bakers, and so it's a little bit harder for us to like put us in that frame of reference. JJ McCarthy has an army of fans, an army of fans that are like, he is it, he is the hero, it is him, it is him, it is him, it is him, it is him. I did not see that with Bo Nix. I did not see that with Bo Nix. And it's a perfect example. And don't tell me it's because of a natty and nonsense. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and Denver Broncos? Does Bo deserve more credit for the Broncos' success? How do you feel about this game against the New York Giants? I will definitely be doing a post game about this. Hopefully see a bounce back game with the Broncos, even though they won against the Jets. They need a bounce back game. They, I mean, that was a bizarre game. You're looking to see them start to win and beat teams like the Giants in a convincing, strong, resilient fashion where the game should just feel boring, dumb, and straightforward, where you're like, yeah, they won 24-7, no surprises, nothing crazy, just pretty, yeah, they won because they're just the better team, right? Like, just very, you should get a feel for how this game is going to unfold from the jump. Not one of those weird situations where you're like, the Broncos are down by 10 going into the second quarter, and yeah, they ended up coming back and winning, but like, why were you down by 10? Like, how did you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out 4 times in a row, right? Where they show us a graphic, oh, the Broncos' first 5 possessions was punt, missed field goal, and you're just like, right, like, none of those bizarre situations. So you're looking for a smooth, straightforward, grounded, and when I say boring, I just mean, like, in terms of it being straightforward, not like it can't be still fun and some nice plays. So we'll see. The season has been just nothing but just rolling the dice, right? It's just been, what are you going to get in any given moment? So, but I expect the Broncos to be able to take care of business and get the job done and start to play like the team like we know they are. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos? I'm also expecting that defense to be able to get after a young rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart. And they're all celebrating. They're all having fun and dancing, taking their shirts off. Like they're acting like they won the Super Bowl. I'm expecting the Denver Broncos defense to put them in a world of pain. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.